So the couple of different scenarios, like I said, was the cold call, let's say. So you eliminate them and give them a reason for calling. And then you have the input forms. So it's a seller, so you're just calling because it looks like they're thinking of selling. You say first, they'll probably say no. Then you say, well, the reason I'm calling is I got your input form. I overheard a few of you, you missed the first step. You didn't say I was just calling to see, calling because it looks like you're thinking of so. You didn't say that first part and then the reason. You just went to the reason first. And that's kind of natural. Sometimes we think that's the way it should go, but we want to get the no out of the way. Remember that? So I just called, or you just say, hi, this is Dwayne with ABC. Looks like you're thinking of selling right now, are you? And they'll say no, even if they are. Or if it's a buyer, looks like you're thinking of buying right now, is that right? No, we're not. Well, the reason I'm calling is I got your input form. Oh yeah, and they're like, so, wow, yeah, I remember now, right? So, see, the online leads are not the greatest, but they can turn into some good opportunities with you if you follow the prospecting track. Okay? And then there's somebody that you called, do you want to sell? They go, yes. And I just want to give you a little quiz here, a little bit here. Let's see here. If you said to them, I just called to make sure you're not thinking of selling, are you? And they said yes, what do you do? What do you think? Set up an appointment? Everybody agree with that?
Yes.
Yeah. And now I gave you the answer, and it was different than that a minute ago. Right? I said that you need to give the reason. Don't set up the appointment. If you close too quick, no cha-ching.
Cha-ching.
Okay, if you do it too quick, they will say, no, hold on. If they say, yeah, we do want to sell, okay, great, I'm on my way. They're like, whoa, hold on, you just told me, I didn't know who you are. You don't go and set up an appointment right now. We've got some things we have to do. I'm going to teach you about them. The power of questions. So, oh, you do want to sell, great. The reason I just listed, or I got a client, or I'm looking for a listing, whatever. You say the reason every time, okay? Remember earlier I said that? They say no, you give the reason, they say yes, you give the reason. Okay, and then you're going to ask questions. Once you give the reason, you're going to ask some questions to be in control of the conversation. So just to test you again, you go, do you want to sell? And they say no. Well, what do we do?
Give her a reason.
Yeah, it's the same thing. So we almost can program our brain just to stay on track all the time. That's the hardest thing, is to stay on track. Once you listen to the audio tracks enough times, maybe take my course even a couple times, or you take coaching after. Like after this course, there's coaching. I have, as I mentioned, I got about 20 right now. A couple of you will probably take coaching, but that's after the course. But you'll get so trained, and everything will become so habitual, or the habits will be so easy for you that it'll be effortless. See, right now, especially for the new ones, you're going to be drained, because you're going to have to be thinking, I got to remember this. What did I do wrong? How come and all that stuff. You're going to feel exhausted. But when you're doing it right without thinking, you just get energy. Does that make sense? Right. So you notice I'm a trained trainer, so to speak. Like, meaning when I say trained trainer, I still have notes in front of me. You notice that? I keep looking down to stay on track. Even as a top producer, when you're 10 years in the business, you'll still have a process to follow, you'll have notes to follow, you'll have things to remind you, you'll have systems, everything. It's all the same. Okay? So you give the reason if they say no. If they say no again, they don't know anybody, then just make your next contact. What if you're talking to somebody and they say they just want to wait until like next year? What do you think we should do then?
Make a reminder?
So, first thing you do is say 2 words, no problem. So, are you thinking of selling? Or I just want to make sure you're not thinking of selling? Not right now. The reason we call is we just listed, we just saw if you got the right price. Well, we probably are going to sell next year. We just want to wait. Right? And then you say 2 words. What are they?
No problem.
No problem. And you still start asking them some questions I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you the bona fide appointment. No, excuse me, that's next. I'm going to give you the open-ended questions to get them to start talking more. And the more they talk, 2 things happen. The more comfortable they feel, and the more they like you. What do you think of that?
Right.
So if you're talking, they don't like you. I'm not saying they literally won't like you, but they'll be maybe even annoyed. Have you ever had a salesperson that just starts talking?
Yeah.
How do you feel? If they were really good, they would ask you a question. So where were you thinking of moving to? Like if you said, I'm going to wait till next year, right? It could be even to buy a vacuum. It could be to buy a car. It could be to sell your house. It could be anything. Real good salespeople will ask a question. So you're thinking of waiting till next year. Where were you planning on moving to next year? Oh, well, where we're thinking of, and they start talking. As soon as people love to talk about themselves and their plans to total strangers. It's true. Oh, well, we were thinking of, and they start going on. You just sit there, you know, you just smile, and they can't see it, but I mean, just saying, you're just listening. You're like, you're winning right now, but they're winning too. I'm not saying it's a win-lose, it's a win-win. But you're winning this conversation to be able to help them. And they need this kind of realtor that's going to listen to their needs and make their number one goal my number one goal. So tell me about where you want to move to. And what kind of home there? And if they're not interested in telling you, you're just done. Move on to the next one. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, so let's give you some of these questions. They're just open-ended questions.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Rana.
Open-ended questions to help you close for a face-to-face meeting.
Halloween is just a couple of weeks ago, eh? Ooh.
Ooh.
To
Thank
change.
I did say close for a face-to-face meeting.
To change.
And then I waited. So here's the questions. So the first one, again, if they give you a yes or a weak yes, meaning they want to wait, you just say, okay, well, where are you planning on moving to? Like if they say we want to sell, say, great, where are you planning on moving to? Can you just say that real quick? Where are you planning on moving to? As simple as that. You may get the odd one that says, I don't know where I'm moving to, I just want to sell the house, but that's a little bit rare, but it happens. But where are you planning on moving to? Well, we're planning on moving to Coventry Hills for Airdrie. I want to move on to the other side. Great, that's a nice area. What type of home are you hoping to buy over there once this was sold? And then let them talk, that's all. Can you folks let them talk? Don't finish their sentences, don't interrupt them. Let them what? Let them talk. They will feel more comfortable and they will start to like you, and you didn't even say nothing except a question. Isn't that powerful?
Yes.
You know, so you're thinking of selling now. When would you want to be into that other home in Coventry Hills? And what are you doing when they're telling you stuff? What do you think you should be doing? Writing it down. I don't want you to say anything though. Don't start saying, well, Coventry Hills, blah, 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 this and all this kind of stuff. And the market's this and all that. Just stop talking, if I can be blunt. The best realtors are not the best talkers, they're the best listeners. And they close. Every time. A, B, C. Always be closing.
To change.
Okay? Every time you're on the phone, your main objective is to get a face-to-face meeting. Not to talk about stuff. Let them talk though. You can't do it too quick like we mentioned, right? When we said they want to sell, oh yeah, I'm on my way. Or let's get that appointment right now. He didn't say it that way, but he meant let's book the appointment, but not then. They're going to say, and you guys go, I don't want you to test this theory, I just want you to trust me. Or this. See, a smart person learns from their, but a wise person learns from, my mistakes. Okay, so I can tell you. You can say, oh, let's get together, and you'll hear people say, well, let us think about it, and you know, but if you just get them to talk first, when you say let's get together, it's way easier. Way easier, okay? So, question 1 to 4, so when you ask 4, you say, oh, okay, so they start talking about their plans, and you say, and then you're going to hit them with something that's kind of, it's a little more direct. So you want to move over to Coventry Hills, and you want a bungalow, and okay, that's great. So how much do you want for your house? That's what I would use. I made a little softer approach because some of the newer people said it's hard for them to ask that. But could you at least say it right now? Just say it to the person beside you. How much do you want for your house?
How much do you want for your house?
Say it again. How much do you want for your house?
How much do you want for your house?
Guess what I'm going to say next? Say it again.
How much money?
How much do you want for your house?
1 million.
You know? So he says 1 million, you write it down, right? Okay, you just write it down. It could be exaggerated price. They might say, listen, the truth of the matter is this, about 30 to 50% will just tell you.
That's true.
Right, Peter?
Yes.
They will. He's been around, I've been around. The newer agent won't be able to relate to that. But you will if you start asking, how much you want for your house? You know, so where are you planning on moving to? Oh, talking. What kind of home? Oh, this, that, and everything. Oh, that's great, yeah. You know, so when, and oh, we're thinking this and that. Okay, well, how much do you want for your house? Oh, at least 500. Oh, yeah, okay. Now, the last one is more of an optional question. Like if you're talking to a FSBO or somebody that, you know, is building a house and they're running out of time but they don't know it, then that's when you say, well, I'm just curious why your home isn't on the market yet. And they'll say, why? And you'll say, well, you got to move in 2 months. Well, you think we're running out of time? You say, let's do this, and then you close. Right? Okay. So why do we ask open-ended questions? What did I say again? To get information, to get them to feel comfortable, get them to like us, get expanded information. Does that make sense?
Yes.
I got just one more thing to show you, and then we'll have almost exactly half our lunch. But it doesn't mean you can't come back after 25 minutes, though. Because if you come back quicker, we'll just start quicker. But we still have one more thing to show you. And a couple more things to write down in your book as well. Okay? Okay. So, I'll take questions in a second. Is there a question you have right now?
So what has to be written in answer?
What's that?
This
To get
answer?
expanded
Like,
information.
so this is?
We are putting our question in the answer.
Oh,
No,
okay.
why open
We have more information.
Did she help you there?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So as soon as you finish writing that page, put your hand up. Just waiting for Terry and Joshi. Okay. I'm going to push the button now. You guys do it?
Yes. Yeah.
So why are yes/no questions used? Now we had open-ended questions to get expanded information. But why are questions that we want to get a yes or a no used? It's usually to tie down something, and it usually is for booking the appointment. Okay? And so if they say, oh, we think our home's worth this much, and you say, okay, and then you go to close, well, why don't we do this? I got some time, we can get together, and I'm free on Saturday at 1, or is 2 better? And they go, yeah, 2's good. That's a yes in a way, right? But if they say, well, and they give you anything, you may have to use some of this dialogue here. What's that saying again? Fear of loss is a greater motivator than the opportunity to gain. So if somebody said, for example, they want to wait, you know, if I could show you that by waiting, your house might be worth less in 6 months, you know, would you still wait? Or if I could show you that there may be some issues with waiting that might cost you, would you at least like to get together so I can go over that information with you? So if you don't get a yes, don't give up, at least try some of this dialogue. The reason it doesn't have the rest of those words is there's so many different scenarios. So it's if I could show you blank, would you still, or would you want to get together? Does that make sense? Okay, that's why it's like that. All right, so then as a side note, fear of loss, oh there it is. It just came into my mind and then I guess I knew it was there in the PowerPoint anyways. Fear of loss is a greater motivator than the opportunity to gain. So who here likes, who here plays cards at all? Anybody?
Cards?
Yeah.
Cards?
Cards, you know,
Yeah.
play cards.
Cards, yeah.
Anybody?
I don't know.
Rishi, that's how you say your first name?
Yeah.
Rishi. How about just say it and I'll try to remember how to.
Rishi.
Rishi? Like Rishi or Rishi?
It's Rishi. It's like if it's pronounced like properly, it should be Rishi.
Okay, so I'll probably say it wrong, but so Rishi, help me out here. I'm going to push the button here as soon as, and I'll come back to this slide when we finish here. Okay, guys, in case you haven't finished writing. So you'll be able to write this in a little later, or you can write now if you can write fast. But when we understand human nature, sales become way easier. Rishi and I are going to do something together here to give you a fun example of how the power of questions work. Okay, and so watch this. Just put down your pens for a second. I'll put the slide back up for you. But Rishi, help me out here. Okay, this is pretty easy. Power of questions. The deck of cards. How many suits are there?
Horses.
Okay, make sure you don't throw your voice over here or something. Okay, you know that's just a joke. That just means they're not supposed to talk. Okay. So, but you won't throw your voice. Anyways, there's four suits, right? And what colors are there?
There's black and red.
Black and red. Yeah, pick one of them and tell me what it is. Black or red?
Black.
Which leaves what? Which one didn't you pick? Color.
Red.
You didn't pick red. Okay, so in red, there's 2 suits. What are they?
Hearts and diamond.
Pick one of those. Tell me what it is.
Diamonds.
And what didn't you pick?
Didn't pick hearts.
Hearts. And what color is that?
Red.
In hearts now, there's 2 types of cards. There's face cards, right? And numbered cards. Pick one type, not an actual card, but just one type, face or number, and just tell me what it is.
That's a face.
Face.
Take
So face, and which one didn't you pick?
number.
Numbers. You just threw your voice. I just heard it right here somewhere. Don't do that. So in numbers, in hearts, which is which color?
Red.
Red. In hearts, there's 2 types of numbers, odd and even. So pick one type and tell me what it is.
I'll pick odd, I'll pick 7.
So then don't ever pick a number until I tell you, okay? So you picked odd, which means you didn't pick what?
Even.
Even in hearts, which is which color?
Red.
Red. So in hearts, with the even cards, what cards are there? Now you can tell me. There's the
For even cards, there's
2,
2, 4, 6,
8, and 10. So pick 2 of them and tell me what they are now.
10, and 6.
Okay, which ones didn't you pick?
I didn't pick 8, 4, and 2.
And pick one of those.
4,
And which ones didn't you pick? What's your left?
2, and
Pick one of those.
8. 8,
Which leaves what?
2.
Of?
Hearts.
Give them a hand, you guys. Isn't that great how we did that? Yeah, so while you're pondering over that at lunch, we'll talk about it when you come back. So you can turn the recording off now, okay? Good job.
Oh,